journey of trying to figure out how to piece that structure together and get it going and get it out there. It was fun to me watching something come to life that was in my mind, weeks ago, months ago, days ago, and now it's here in the real world in real life. And I just got addicted to it. So just surrounding myself with more entrepreneurs, surrounding myself with people that are older than me, that have kind of been down that path before, and listening to some of the things that they went through, so I know when to swerve left, when to swerve right. And just staying true to who I am and to my heart, and listening to my intuition. That's kind of what got YE and me to where I am today. I don't know if that answers the question, but my mastermind group consists of a few people that I grew up with, some folks that can keep me humble. Keep my mind close to the ground, as far as, remembering the community that I come from, and understanding that, not only is that the environment that raised me, but that's the environment that gave me all the skills that I have to do what I'm doing now. So to always be mindful of that, and whatever I do, I keep the community I grew up in mind, and I'm constantly thinking of how I can give back. Then I have other individuals in my mastermind group that have been entrepreneurs for years. They have very successful businesses, and I just go to them for coaching, just to ask them, hey, I'm at this point in my business, was there a time where you feel like you were here, and how did you get through it? And then there's those mentors that I feel like I know them very well. I watch them every night, on TV or on YouTube, or I might read about them, but they don't know me at all, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, Twitter, all of that, but just something more aspirational. People that have definitely been there, done that. They serve as a key level of influence for myself, and for my team. And yeah, so that's my mastermind group. Yeah. I think the biggest misconception about entrepreneurship, because we live in a generation that's so microwave, it's so right now, it's so gotta have it. I put this picture up 20 seconds ago, I better have 60 likes, but the biggest misconception about entrepreneurship is it doesn't happen like that. It takes a little bit of time. I saw a picture the other day on Instagram, speaking of, where it was a picture of like a carrot, and the carrot, you saw like the sprouted leaves at the top, but the carrot was down in the ground. And it pretty much was like an analogy to say, it's not necessarily what people see all the time. It's not necessarily, what people see all the time that, that deems whether you're growing or not. Sometimes you just got to get your roots developed, and roots are the foundation. If your foundation isn't there, then how do you expect to grow? So a lot of times people think, oh man, I'm about to go out here and start this business, and in 2 weeks we gonna be booming. And you might have a quick little spurt, but you're gonna have to figure out how to keep it going. So figuring out how to develop those roots, create a wonderful foundation that's very wide, as horizontal as you can go, definitely benefits when you're thinking about driving your company vertical, and getting it to where you want to go. I don't read too much. I'm kind of lazy. I do a lot of audiobooks on YouTube, but as far as physically reading, Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho. And also, most importantly, a book that I feel like everyone should read, Sun Tzu, The Art of War, as it relates to business and work collaborating with other people. Certain times you'll be in an industry where there will be competition. understanding organizational structure. The way that book is broken down, there's analogies for all of that within that book, and I refer to it a lot when I'm going into new business endeavors and when I'm having to work with other business entities. So yeah, love that book too. To say where YE will be in the next 5 years, I have a vision. But if you would have asked me where would we be 5 years from now, 5 years ago, the vision that I would have gave you would have been completely different than where we are. So I'm actually on the roller coaster like everybody else. Of course, I would love for us to be in more schools. I would love for us to be in more communities. I would love for us to change the scope, the landscape of what social responsibility looks like for a lot of companies around the city and around the country, around the world. But to tell you what we'll be in the next 5 years, I know I would be understating the real vision that doesn't even come from me. So I'll just leave it at that. As it pertains to Black-owned businesses and how YE Atlanta fits in, I mean, we could just look at the area that we're in right now in Atlanta, or even the nation. I read something not too long ago that said that there are more African American women starting businesses now than ever before, and the way that we play a part in that whole goal or in that vision of seeing more African American women start businesses is by empowering our youth, empowering our young ladies, empowering our young men, so that they're strong enough to support their sisters in whatever endeavor they're looking to move forward in. I'm always excited to hear things like that, because to be honest, when you think of a CEO, and if you type it into a Google directory, what image do you see? It definitely is an African American woman. So for it to be notarized that there are more Black-owned businesses being started by women now than ever before, lets me know that we're on to something. And it lets me know that, from a social perspective, with all the things going on in entertainment and music, that a lot of our entertainers get a bad rap on, talking about, African American women, this and that, and the third, that, they haven't lost their strength. No matter what they've gone through in the media or socially, that they're still striving and aspiring to, be the exact opposite of how they're being portrayed to the mass public. So, I have hope, and YEATL has hope to, assist in, helping them get to wherever they want to go. My name's Kadeem Dunwell. I'm founder and Chief Executive Officer of the Young Entrepreneurs of Atlanta Foundation. You can find us on Facebook at Young Entrepreneurs of Atlanta Foundation, on Instagram at YE_ATL. And as always, you can find us online at www.yeafoundationinc.org. Special thank you to Mr. Thompson for coming out today and thinking so highly of us to include us in this wonderful piece that he's putting together. Thank you to Tap, the app. Make sure you guys are downloading the application. We'll be on there, as well as other businesses from around the city and around the nation, soon to be around the world. Look out for these guys. So go download the Tap app, go follow at YE_ATL, and like us on Facebook at the Young Entrepreneurs of Atlanta Foundation. Kadeem Dunwell signing out. Appreciate it. Young Entrepreneurs of Atlanta is